Hi, everyone. This is Tammy, owner of Worthyworthitpriceless, and today's podcast is titled He Will Exceed Your Expectations. So, if you guys have been following the podcast at all, you will know that I do have a daughter. She's 5 years old, and she was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. It is level 3, is severe, and she is nonverbal. So this year she should have been starting kindergarten. And I was very excited, she's going to kindergarten, all this good stuff. And, as you know, COVID hit or whatever. But that wasn't actually the concern. My daughter has to have special requirements to be in a class. She has to have 6 kids, 1 adult or 1 teacher and 1 assistant. And because she fights, it's like a whole big old thing that she has to, go through or whatever. So when school was about to start or whatever, I'm like, I haven't heard from the school at all. Like, she was supposed to go to summer school, and I understand, with COVID and everything, they actually didn't do the summer program, which was fine. We just did remote stuff, so that was fine. But now all of a sudden school is supposed to start, and I haven't heard anything. So the Board of Education got in contact with me and was like, we can't find placement for Uvea. And I'm like, okay. Like, it's like they said this has never happened to them. And it was like, we're trying to find a school. She's on a waiting list, all this other stuff. Now, I was cool with this situation because I know my daughter. Like, I know she fights, all this other stuff. So I really didn't want her to be in the wrong classroom. And I know with the mask, I knew she probably wouldn't wear one. So I was fine with her not really going to school. Like, as much as, I wanted her to be placed in the right environment. I didn't want them to rush to try to find something for her that wasn't suitable, and then, a whole bunch of stuff, because my daughter sometimes relapses as well. And so it's a whole big old thing. So anyway, so months go by and I haven't heard anything. Now she's supposed to start school in September. And right before Thanksgiving or something, the Board of Education called, and he was like, well, you know what? This is taking a lot longer than I thought. What I'm going to do is come up with a special program for Uvea, where it will just be her, a teacher, and a behavioral specialist. And it'll be 2 hours a week, or sorry, not 2 hours a week, 2 hours a day. And she'll just get special treatment or whatever, or just be in a classroom with just her and the teachers and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, good, whatever. So anyway, she starts that today. But what I mean by that, or the inspiration that really comes from that, is I know a lot of people were like, man, your van need to be in school and this, that, and the third. And I wasn't rushing the process. Not that I don't want my daughter to learn, but I know that God had a way. I was like, the point that she was supposed to be in school, and this has never happened to the point that a student wasn't going to school or they couldn't place a student or something like that. I knew that God had a special plan for her. And so I wasn't like too concerned. And also too, like I said, I didn't want her to be going somewhere where she wasn't welcomed, or, it would have been a whole disaster type of thing. But back to the encouragement, that is exactly what God will do. He will stop whatever plan that we thought, because I thought she was going to kindergarten, I thought she was going to school. But the thing about it is, God will stop our plans to make sure that his plans come to pass. He made it as though, like, my daughter is so special that she's having one-on-one training. This would have never happened had she been in the classroom. She's getting one-on-one training specifically for her. And that's what I mean by God. He will exceed your expectations. You may just be expecting that, hey, I'll get into this job, I'll get into this school, or I'll get here, I'll get there. But what God is trying to do is he's trying to set you apart. He's strategically making a plan to set you apart and to set you up for a greater outcome. And You have to be willing to let go of what you think is going to happen and allow what God has planned for you. Had I rushed them or something like that, it wouldn't have been this outcome. Or if there was a spot available, she would have been in a class full of 6 kids, and then a lot of the other kids, they actually had to do remote learning. My daughter can't do remote learning because I know she is not about to sit in front of a computer like that. And so at the end of the day, we get caught up in what we want. So for today, just make it an exercise or a plan that you will sit back, not worry about how things are going to work out. Even if you get a yes and it seems like it's a delay, realize that even if it's a delay, God still has a plan. He's still working it out on your behalf. It's not over. You might have to wait 3-4 weeks or months and sometimes even years, but you might have to wait for it, but realize that God is strategically making a plan behind the scenes just for you, tailor-made just for you, just to set you up for a greater outcome and a greater tomorrow and a greater future. But you'll never get there if you try to rush or you allow other people to get in your ear and try to rush the process. It's all going to work out for you. You may not see it today, but it is going to work out for you. Sit back and allow God to exceed your expectations. So until next time, always know that you have worth, you have value. It is not over for you. You are worthy, worth, and priceless. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. And so until next time, love you guys. Bye.